The Autobiography of a Monkey by Albert Bigelow Paine.
This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information, or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recorded by Charlotte Duckett.
Part first. The Departure from the Forest. Where the light laughs through the treetops, and sports with the tangled glade, in the depths of the Afric forest, my earliest scenes were laid. In a bower that was merry with smilax. From the grimace of nowhere I woke. I was born on the first day of April. They called me a jungle joke. And the voices of birds were about me, and the beat and the flutter of wing, while morning returned at the trumpet of Tusky, our elephant king. My nurse was a crooning old beldam, who gazed at the palms of my hands, and vowed I was destined to travel to many marvellous lands. But little I healed for her croaking, for I gambolled the whole day long, and swung by my tail from the treetop, and joined in the jungle song. The Jungle Song.
Oh, I am the lord of the forest and plain.
We are the beasts that acknowledge your reign.
We are the minstrels that come at your call, and we are the jesters that laugh at you all. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes,
The tribes of the jungle are we.
Our home is the
darksome wilderness
that never a
that
man
never a man
shall see.
shall see.
Oh, the jungle was meant and made for my will.
For the sport of the chase and the zest of the kill.
For the beating of wings and the echo of song.
For the gambol and grimace of whole season long. Oh yes,
Oh
oh yes,
yes,
oh
oh
yes,
yes,
oh
oh
yes.
yes, oh
The
yes.
tribes
The
of the
tribes of the
jungle
jungle
are
are
we.
jungle are we.
Our home is the
Our home is the
darksome
darksome
wilderness
wilderness
that never a
that
man
never a
shall
man
see.
shall see.
But, alas, for the boasts of the jungle, the man came among us one day, and one with a box that made music enticed foolish monkeys away. The birds and the beasts of the forest were mute at the marvellous song, but the monkeys crept out of the treetops, an eager and wondering throng. The birds and the beasts of the forest kept hidden and silent that day, but the monkey folk formed a procession and followed the minstrel away. And thus did we give up our forest to dwell with our brothers the men. Farewell to the beautiful jungle. 'Twas long ere I see it again. Part second. The Ways of Men. Then away to a far distant country, on a drift that they said was a ship, and I studied the ways of my master, and profited much by the trip. And we sailed to his home in far Naples, where I studied the language of men, and I sat on a bench with his children, and soon we went sailing again. And I made some nice friends on the voyage, and engaged in a pretty romance. I charmed all the ladies by climbing, and one of them taught me a dance. Yet often I longed for the jungle, its song and the rustle of wings, and sometimes at night in my slumber I talked with our elephant king. One morning my master awoke me, and dressed me in a gaudy new suit. I beheld the new world in the sunlight, and lifted my hat in salute. And then began troubles and trials. Through the streets by a string I was led, toiling hard all the day for my master, yet oft go hungry to bed. But he sold me at last to a circus, and my lot came easier then, so I gave many moments of leisure to acquiring the habits of men. I copied their manners and customs, I made of each fashion a note, and children admired my performance, and the ladies the cut of my coat. By and by I was sold to a banker, who was charmed by my ball-rolling feat, and arranged in a Fauntleroy costume I passed all my time on the street. But alas for my plans of the future. He died without leaving a cent. I had to go out to hard labour to pay for my victuals and rent. Till I met with a gentleman's valet, who was like me in manner and face. I told him some stories that pleased him, and bribed him to give me his place. Then I started to serve my new master. A bachelor cynic was he, who quickly saw through the deception, and made a proposal to me. Said he,
"You're a monkey, you rascal, an excellent type of brood. Let's play a joke on society by passing you off as a dude."
So he took me at first to his barber, who shaved me and shortened my hair, and the last trace of the jungle was gone when I rose from his chair. And then to his tailor and hatter, his hosier, and all the rest, till at night I was changed from a monkey to a chappie most smartly dressed. And standing alone and reflecting, I thought of the why and the how. I wondered what Tusky was doing, and what would the jungle say now. Part third. The Butterfly Whirl. It was then for the triumphs of conquest. Oh, then for the life of the swell. I dwelt like a lord with my patron, in a style of a gilded hotel. And we went out to plays and to dinner. On the ladies he took me to call, and once we received an invitation to a beautiful fancy-dressed ball. 'Twas a famous affair, and it won me, with its titter and tinsel and tune, for it carried me back to the jungle and the monkey dance under the moon. Then I mingled with other diversions. I learned how to paint and to ride. I cut a great figure at polo, and science the golfing I tried. As a wheelman I soon became famous, and made a great score on the track. I was known as the king of the scorchers, with the typical bicycle back. Then a girl who was youthful and silly said she loved me just for a lark, and came with an elegant turnout, and took me for a drive in the park. And I took her out boating next morning, for the face of my charmer was fair. It carried me back to the jungle, to the flowers that were blossoming there. But soon, in the midst of my pleasure, in the glow of the roseate dream, the boat struck a rock and tipped over, and tumbled us both to the stream. Then ho for the skill of the jungle, the deftness of foot and of hand, for I hung from a limb, and I saved her, and drew her at last to the stand. And then to her home I went proudly, to claim the fair maid for my own. But her father demanded a title, and hardened his heart like a stone. And then came the death of my patron, that left me alone in the strife. I yearned once more for the jungle. I turned to political life. Part fourth. The return path. As I studied a week to gain knowledge, I waded through volumes of stuff, and I found that the only requirements were cunning and blarney and bluff. And these I had bought from my jungle, inherited straight from my race, with a gift for political music and a truly political face. Thus feeling at home in my labours, my plan was successful, of course, and when they came round with appointments, they gave me a job on the force. And such is my skill as a roundsman, the talent in keeping the peace, I rose in a year to be captain, and then to be chief of police. And then, as my years were advancing, so great was their honour and trust, that they twined me to chaplet of laurel, and sculptured in marble my bust. Yet often I dreamed of the jungle, its song and the rustle of wing, and sometimes I still talk in my slumber with Tusky, our elephant king. When lo, my political party, that now was in power and supreme, confirmed a most noble appointment that realized all of my dream. For they made me their African envoy, and soon I went sailing again to meet my old playmates and tell them the ways and the customs of men, to calm the dusk native and gather my people in sun-haunted nooks, to tell them my story and teach them the wisdom and cometh of books. The words and the ways of their fathers deliver my race from its ban. For man did not spring from the monkey, but monkey descended from man.
The End of Autobiography of a Monkey by Albert Bigelow Paine, recorded by Charlotte Duckett.